export tariffs would impact some African countries more than others, but other effects would likely be felt more indirectly. He noted that Zambia is less directly affected due to its minimal export volume to the US, all right, which accounts for only 1% of its total exports. Now, the USA is not a big market for the African continent. African exports total $700 billion per annum, and only about 4% of that goes to the USA. Said Membe, adding that countries like Lesotho with higher US export dependency would be more significantly impacted. He says they may have an indirect impact if they trigger a recession in China, where most of our exports go. If there is a recession in China, it means China will not take so much of our exports and we will have a big problem. He added that noting this would provide an opportunity for African countries to add value at the source to the raw materials they currently export. Membe criticized U.S. foreign aid, calling it an instrument of American foreign policy. U.S. aid in particular has served as a tool for foreign policy and other interests. He said, alleging that it was used to manipulate African political environments through media and NGOs. U.S. aid was never truly a tool for genuine humanitarian assistance, but was a tool for furthering USA imperial interests across the world, including Zambia. He explained that, noting that U.S. Department of Government Efficiency has uncovered fresh evidence of this. Member stressed the importance of African countries asserting economic independence and moving towards self-sufficiency. This period brings for Africa a chance for self-reliance, for sovereignty, for increased sovereignty and independence. He said, we have some leaders like the current Zambian president who knew dependence on the West as a good thing, as the only way to progress to development. Member noted how the extraction industry in his country exemplifies the problem of foreign control. Now, Zambia is to begin to industrialize our economies. Without industrialization, for dealing with Africa's challenges, particularly those rooted in foreign economic control and political interference, the only progress we can make is if we start benefiting from the resources that we have, the resources that are being exploited on the African continent in a beneficial way. Turning his attention to Democratic Republic of Congo, Membe described the country's natural wealth as the root cause of the instability it has been experiencing for decades. The biggest problem in the Congo is the resources. He explained the Asian African nations to take ownership of resolving the conflicts on the continent. The solution to the Congo's problems in countries and the African Union, the solutions to Congo should not come or should not be drawn up in Washington, should not even come from the United Nations. Mr. Membe expressed approval of
American tariffs on Africa and in particular on Zambia is an important one, which we must all pay attention to. It's not an issue we should trivialize. It has an impact, but the impact of these tariffs differ from country to country. A country like Lesotho that had such a huge percentage of exports or of its exports to the USA definitely is affected in a very big way. A country like Zambia, whose exports to the USA aid in particular has served as a tool for its foreign policy. They have leveraged their aid to achieve policy options they desire. When you look at the money that has gone to NGOs that deal with the media, really the aim has been to tilt the propaganda Africa a chance for self-reliance and really assert our sovereignty. Unfortunately, due to the previous US administrations, long interference in our continent through entities like USAID, current Zambian president, who view dependence on the West as a good thing, as the only way to progress, to development. We have a lot of work to do to raise the consciousness of our people and even our politicians, and articulate for them a type of national and continental development plan that is anchored on sovereignty and genuine self-determination. We have to take control of our economies. Many of our economies are still in foreign hands. They are still owned by foreigners, controlled by mostly Western transnational corporations. The pattern of ownership only says the Zambian case is illustrative of this. Zambia's mining industry, which generates between $5 to $6 billion of exports per annum, is mostly owned by foreign mining companies. This means that all the money that is earned begin to industrialize our economies. Without industrialization, we cannot develop. So there is a need for us to start cooperating with countries like China that are interested in our development and ensure that our raw materials are processed here. We export finished products. That's the only way we can develop. That's the only way we can improve the living conditions of our people, from pursuing South to South cooperation and deepening it to the highest possible degrees. Indeed, as I've already highlighted, more South to South cooperation with all the sister and brother countries in the South will improve our economies.
Cameroonian engineer fights pollution with plastic paving stones. Cameroonian renewable energy engineer Osula Saha is leading a bold initiative to tackle pollution and promote sustainability by transforming plastic waste into eco-friendly paving stones in Western Cameroon. Footage from Thursday, April 10 shows Saha and her team in Bafoussam searching for low-density plastic waste, including nylons and water bottles, which they collect and transport to recycling facility. There, they heat and mix the plastic with sand to form durable paving bricks. Saha's initiative during the